Coy went to experience the rugby crowd firsthand, and I'm pleased to say Coy is with us. Great to see you as ever from CNN Centre. You're a former NFL player. You're used to some pretty rowdy, pretty enthusiastic crowds who love a bit of fancy dress. But how did your first rugby experience compare?
Amanda, my first Super Rugby experience in person was everything I dreamed it would be, and in large part because of those fans. And for those of you who don't know, Super Rugby is the premier competition in the Southern Hemisphere. 15 teams from 5 nations competing. You have the power nations of Australia, New Zealand, South Africa. Then there's one team in Argentina and one in Japan. The Sunwolves in Tokyo were only recently established in 2016, and they've really struggled, finishing last in 2 of the previous 3 seasons, 2015 rather. It appears the Sunwolves may be running out of time. There are talks of them being cut from the competition after this season, and some feel they aren't competitive enough, that Tokyo is too far of a trip for the players, that nobody outside of Japan wants to watch them. Others say they're the key to growing rugby worldwide, that they're the gateway to Asia. A decision on their fate could drop any day. Now, the players, they're fighting for their careers, their fans, their families who are counting on them, and I got up close and personal with the team. My journey started as soon as I landed in Tokyo last month. I went directly to the team hotel where I was asked to give them a motivational speech at their ceremonial jersey handover the night before their first home match in Tokyo against the New South Wales Waratahs. And I shared my experiences from my 9-year NFL career as a team captain, but also as a player a lot like them. The underdog who is never the biggest or fastest, always having to fight to keep my dream alive. And because of my time with the team, being given a jersey, I felt strong connection with them, and I couldn't wait to watch my very first Super Rugby match in person. A couple of things stood out: the fight in the team and the fans. I think you'll see why in our feature. Check it out. As a former NFL player, one sport I always respected: rugby. It's kind of like football, but without pads. These guys are tough. I'm here in Tokyo to take in my very first ever Super Rugby match. The New South Wales Waratahs taking on the Sunwolves. Ow! A big part of any game day culture, the food. And you'd expect that the Sunwolves here in Tokyo would be serving up something authentic Japanese, like sashimi or ramen, but not today. They are serving up Aussie lamb chops just on the Barbie like they do down under. And they're not doing this to be awesome hosts for their guests from Australia. They're doing it to symbolize what they're gonna do to their opponents on the field: eat them up. One of the things you'll see and hear during Sunwolves games that you won't find anywhere else: the fans who howl during scrums. That's right, howl. This howling initially upset some of the older rugby purists, but now it's one of the most beloved traditions of Sunwolves fans. What's your favorite part about game day?
Howling and encourage them. That is the most exciting part.
I've noticed the howling. That's pretty unique. You gotta teach me the proper howl. How do I do it?
All
right, we'll do it together now. Ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. In front of a colorful home crowd, the Sunwolves scored early, and they went into the break leading 20-17. Many experts had them as big underdogs, but the Sunwolves showed a lot of bite. All right, the Sunwolves have only 6 wins in the last 3 years, but they're up at halftime, and the Sunwolves cheer team, they're going to get this crowd hype for the second half. The Sunwolves put on a brave performance. They were creative, they were relentless in their attack, and the game went down to the wire, but they just fell short. A 31-30 loss, but still, the fans stayed to honor their team afterwards, and that meant everything to the players. How's this feel, man? You're getting selfies with all these fans. What do you have to say about the Sunwolves fans?
Oh man, Sunwolves fans are unbelievable. As soon as we come out here, everyone's screaming. It's awesome. Such a cool vibe. Yeah, hey. It's such a cool vibe.
Well, it's another loss for the Sunwolves, and while the future of the franchise may be uncertain with the way they've lost in recent years, is the type of heart and effort that they showed today that will allow them to continue to improve and hopefully someday prove to all of their fans that they can be a shining light for rugby in Asia.